Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm doing a love reading. So this is a love reading for the collective. So take what resonates and leave the rest. Don't try to make anything fit. If you would like me to look at your specific energies and not just the collective general energies, you are welcome to schedule an appointment with me. The link to schedule an appointment's in the description box below. So, all right, let's take a look at your role in the relationship. Your role was Three of Cups, share the love. Getting that your role, that you tend to be much more optimistic, much more outgoing, or at least you were when you got together with your person. There's so much truth and honesty and direct communication. You are incredibly perceptive. Your role in the relationship is being an authority. I feel like a lot of people trust you. At times, when you're in a lower vibration, you can be impulsive and have high expectations. I get this feeling that you're really hard on yourself, and that habit of being very hard on yourself, you also expect others to show up. It feels like just very, very tough on yourself. And that also makes you expect a lot from the people when they show up. At times, I feel like maybe when you're more out of control, when your emotions are running high, when your vibration is low, that it feels like nobody is enough. They're not showing up correctly for you. And it looks like you also go within. This might be viewed as some wishy-washy. Some people might feel that you are wishy-washy in relationships, and that your energy comes in, your energy goes out, because you are constantly in this cycle of going within to explore whatever it is that's bothering you. You might have even given yourself a bad rap and felt guilty about, like, I feel this real introverted, like, deep dive when something's going on, just going within and separating yourself so you can find your answers, so you can clear. You might also be an empath. I've seen empaths that do this, that get very overwhelmed by other people's energies. And so by going within, by separating and isolating yourself, you get back to your energies. You find yourself again and again. Some people would say that, and you might have even said, I have often I have times of depression. What I'm getting from this is, instead of calling it depression and having a lot of negative ways of viewing this, what I'm seeing is, when something is not right, when you're not feeling right, you go within, you separate yourself, and it's compression. You know that all your answers come from inside, and you want to create a space so you can find those answers, so you can take care of yourself. So it feels like a lot of compression and then expansion, compression and then expansion. All right. Your partner's role in the relationship is coming together, Two of Cups. So you're in Three of Cups. Feel like you've got a really fun vibe going, and your partner is someone who likes reciprocity, someone who loves equal give and take, someone who is interested in like minds, someone who I get the feeling that this is your partner is someone who sees the value in being in a close relationship. They see the value of that sharp mind, of truth and honesty, of having clarity, mental clarity. At times I get the feeling that your person brings in conflict. Maybe they feel conflicted at times. And it feels like sometimes you need some space away from this so you can find your truth. You both are very in tuned with your emotions. That emotional connection is very important, and the truth is very important. Your person is right now having like an awakening. They're definitely seeing the truth of things right now. They have a calling. Get the feeling that sometimes your person in relationships to you might seem like they're feels like they've got a bit of a wall up, that they're afraid for you to see them in anything other than a positive light. These fears stem from a childhood of not being loved unconditionally, but it feels like they're working on how to love themselves unconditionally, because if they feel that there are parts of themselves that are very unlovable, and if you were to fully see that part of them, then you would not love them either. And so instead of looking at these shadow aspects, they kind of keep part of themselves mysterious and hidden. Even though this person sees the value in a connection, they're also terrified of true vulnerability and being completely open. It kind of feels like there's a little bit of a paradox going on with your person, that what they want the most is to be loved fully for themselves, and yet they're afraid of showing themselves and others who they really are, for fear that they will find something that is very unlovable. So it feels like that it keeps them stuck in that type of energy. All right. In the past, the foundation of your relationship is Two of Swords. All right, refusing to see. So a foundation, so I just talked about your person having a refusal to see all of who they are, and that all of who they are can be loved. All of who they are, it feels like they're worried about the truth, about being fully seen. And let's see, your foundation of refusing to see. I think the foundation, what you brought into this relationship that you're refusing to see is when you are running a lower vibration, that you have some habits, some ways of being that are very destructive. They're ruthless. Maybe when the foundation of this was, you could be very punishing when you didn't get your way. Maybe you forget how impulsive you could be when your vibration is low. When maybe before you go into that inner sanctum, when you go withdraw yourself to go find your answers, it feels like you can be, at least early in this connection, it feels like that's what you were refusing to see about yourself, refusing to see how punishing, destructive that you can be when you're in a low vibration. So, let's see. It looks like both of you have the foundation of this relationship is neither of you really came into this relationship knowing how to love yourselves. So it created a foundation of disharmony, distrust, imbalance. It feels like the foundation of your relationship was one where you can't, it doesn't feel like, at least at the beginning, the foundation of this relationship was not built on trust and clear communication. It was built on pretense, wanting. It feels like you both want something that looks and feels wonderful, but it feels like both of you weren't quite sure what a real loving reciprocal connection is like. It feels like there's a habit, a foundation of not being able to be really truthful because there's a refusal to really see and own your own negative aspects, and trying to hide that, and neither of you really owning anything other than the positive. It feels like the foundation was not truthful. It was fanciful and kind of pie in the sky view of each other. And feels like the foundation was one where this isn't a safe place to go when for each other, but it feels like the foundation of your relationship was one where you feel like both of you feel like the other one is a burden, that it takes a lot to make this work, that it's a lot of work. And you both are, I'm getting that from both of you. The current state of the relationship is Eight of Wands, success and growth. Eight of Wands is a very fast moving energy. Something shifting and changing within this connection. What's shifting and changing? I think for the longest time in this connection, you both have just tried to make it work despite feeling like there's no communication and that you're each looking at each other like a burden. It's like both of you stayed in this situation where there's no emotional fulfillment. Maybe because of fear of change or fear of loss. You know, maybe something like the devil that you do know. I mean, maybe it could be worse. It's so interesting. You both came in with this very loving roles that you play, and the foundation is not built on loving. And at current time, right now, it doesn't feel like there's any love in this connection, but something is changing. I get the feeling that you haven't moved together, you haven't grown together, you've grown apart. And so you're both becoming very independent and self-sufficient. That yeah, it doesn't even feel, it feels like a work on self. There's just so much imbalance. It feels like both of you have found other ways to exit the relationship, like maybe numbing out, maybe distracting, maybe avoiding. It's maybe drugs and alcohol, some types of way. It's very interesting. There's this staying together for a long time, even though it's not working out. It feels like two very independent people working on themselves and yet staying in a connection where there is no love, there's no emotional, feels like, and it takes a lot of drugs, alcohol, somehow distracting yourself to even stay in this connection. It feels like both of you want you want emotional satisfaction, you want stability, you want this loving energy, but you aren't finding that within each other. Maybe the Eight of Wands is the realization. Maybe you and or your partner are coming to this realization that, you know, we're technically together, but we're two independent people. We both want love. We're not finding it with each other. We have created very toxic ways of adapting so we can stay in this connection, even though nobody is happy. So The possible future outcome is Seven of Wands. Choose your battles. I'm getting that both of you are so unhappy in this connection, disappointed. And instead of just walking away and saying, we gave it our shot, our best shots, we both wanted and came into this relationship with loving intentions, but maybe neither of us really knew what love was. And we had old patterns of blaming and disconnecting, punishing, and refusing to see our own bad habits while projecting our crap onto each other. And, sorry, it just didn't work. It looks like as you learn to choose your battles, that okay, I get the feel, so someone's ready for a new beginning. Someone's ready in the future. I see someone moving out for a new beginning. By no longer choosing to stay in a connection where there's just a lot of strife. It feels like a lack of communication, a lack of connection. It feels like people's egos have gotten in the way. It feels like bullying, just people being at their very worst within this connection. And in the future, a very possible future outcome is realizing that this is not a game. Someone's realizing that this is not a game that I want to play. This is not a type of connection. Nothing good is coming of this. And by choosing your battles, taking the L and being like, all right, okay, bye, that somebody walks away with public recognition, a victory. Someone raises their confidence and it does the work and says, I see my part in co-creating this very unhappy union. And I'm so much happier. It feels like a lot of happiness outside of this connection for somebody. And people even seeing and noticing and being like, wow, they are doing so much better outside of this connection. Maybe even in the future sense, like there's like, why did I stay in this? I felt like I had to stay in this connection, even though it was just so difficult. It brought out the worst in me, it brought out the worst in them. It was on a foundation of a lack of communication, a lack of truth. There was horrible communication. We treated each other like a burden. I'm so much happier now that I've walked away from this. And it feels like an opportunity to start such a new beginning that now that you've done the work, now that you've accepted and taken responsibility for your part in it, then you have a new way of seeing things, like attracting. Oh, yeah, it feels like whoever this is in the future tense, is this you? Is this the person who who decides to face their ego issues, to face, do this, the shadow work, to look at the traumas, to heal from this connection, they move on and have this very public raise in vibration, and everybody is celebrating like who they are outside of this connection. And it looks like it attracts someone very different than they're used to, someone in a very different energy, someone who comes forward with this a new way of doing relationships, something that feels very different than these past cycles that you've been in. Maybe you've, same person or different person, same type of energy all your life, something very similar. But since you've done the work, it looks like you're attracting very new type of person, a new type of opportunity. It looks like you have new skills. You're much more resilient. You've shown yourself how resilient you are. You've been through a lot. I mean, this was very painful, very exhausting, but you've leveled up, you've created boundaries. You have so much more courage. It feels like your heart space is healing. You can spot a deception a mile away. It feels like that was part of the issue. The foundation was maybe self-deceit, deceiving yourself, not being able to see your shadows and not being able to see your traumas, not being able to, it feels like an enmeshment, and that's why you went within a lot and depressed, as you had other people's energy, this person's energy in your space, and you can't do anything with their energy. So you would go within, you'd clear their energy, so you'd be able to come back out with just your energy. It looks like you've learned so much about deception and manipulation and the importance of expressing yourself. You've leveled up. If you're still feeling fear and worry about being recreating this scenario, it feels very different that you've allowed yourself to heal before moving on. I feel like in this future energy, you're going to start out with this new energy being a little defensive and protective. I like this in that it looks like in the past energy that you would rush in with your emotions, and instead of really acknowledging what the foundation is of relationships, kind of getting in your feels and in your desires with that. And so why I'm not, it feels like being a little cautious, not defensive, but a little cautious and going slowly is going to work for your benefit. Wow. It looks like whoever comes in, you're going to be much more cautious about, are they telling the truth? And the only way you can really know if the person coming in is telling the truth is give it time. Yes, listen to what they say, but do their actions match up with their words? feels like truth and honesty, and someone who doesn't confuse you, someone who you feel very clear around, someone who's very consistent. It feels like this person is going to put in the work to um, they've got staying power. They're going to make sure that you know how valuable you are to them, that they're going to tell you exactly what they see in you. Feels like this person might be an authority in their field, someone who's very sharp. Feels like this person has transformed. They've done a lot of this inner work. You might be a little shy of getting hurt. It might take a while for this person because it does feel like you've detached um, from like a fear of committing to one person. It feels like you've enjoyed being independent. It feels like in this relationship in the past that you were pretty independent of each other for a long time, that you weren't really in a very loving connection. And so it was like two independent people who were just happened to be together. And so it's really going to take someone special, someone who's really truthful and honest, and for you to give up on your independence. So, all right, that's your love reading. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. Bye.